cases rise and fear spreads, how will the virus affect our furry companions?
Days after a destructive tornado rips through a Nashville community, one woman finds the strength to pick up the pieces and rebuild.
And another candidate bites the dust as Senator Warren drops out of the presidential race, how her campaign impacted the election.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm William Cronin.
And I'm Stephanie Stoiko.
Senator Elizabeth Warren has dropped out of the presidential race, leaving Biden and Sanders as the last two Democratic nominee contenders. Warren's departure comes after dropping from the top two spots she held in the beginning of the race. She went from being a top contender to fourth in New Hampshire and then fifth in Nevada. She had a third-place finish in her home state on Super Tuesday.
Warren says she was told it was going to be a two-person race from the beginning of her campaign. Her campaign, which has been noted as having a greater impact on the race than her own candidacy, fell to its demise in October when opponents attacked her on her appraisal of Medicare for All. After her announcement, Warren had few remarks regarding the remaining candidates.
Not today. I need some space around this, and want to take a little time to think a little more. I've been spending a lot of time right now on the question of suspending and also making sure that this works as best we can for our staff, for our team, for our volunteers.
At SUNY Oswego, students have a hard time finding a parking spot in Commuter Lot 8 comparing to Commuter Lot 18 and 32. When the Commuter Lot 8 is full, some students park in the non-vehicle spot, the red brick pavement. Let's hear what some students thought about the red brick surface.
I think that it makes it a lot harder to park with the red bricks because that's like taking up probably like 2, 4, 6, 10 spots.
I would notice people would pull over those pavements, and even though they would get a ticket, they'd rather park there than being late to class.
Students like Julian Geraci and Adam Pignati explained their opinion about the red brick surface.
However, they didn't know what the red brick was supposed to be for at the beginning. Red brick pavement is more of an outer borderline order of the parking row. It was actually put in after the shipment was newly built.
After the brick got into the Commuter Lot 8, students made judgments.
I don't think it's completely a waste.
I think that they could definitely optimize the parking spaces a little bit better by like shifting around some things.
With the rise of ticket thefts caused by parking on red brick, University Lieutenant Barbeau tells so far the statistic of tickets given from last semester to now.
Probably more at the beginning of the semester because more people are parking. Then once people start getting tickets, they realize they can't park there, and then the numbers do it a little bit.
With the total number of tickets compared by semester, students suggest ideas on to solve the issue with the space on red brick.
There are like certain spots where there's just no spot for no reason. I think that they should come up with like a better method of optimizing the amount of spaces.
I think there's a lot of space where we can expand parking lots to make the walking distance from the buildings for the students a little easier and a little closer.
WTOP 10 Nightly News, Elizabeth Vaughn reporting.
SUNY Oswego parking office is located 7044 NY 104 route. To learn more about commuter parking lot, visit the SUNY Oswego parking website at www.oswego.edu/parking.
Syracuse University protesters are now sleeping in administrative buildings in a continued protest against racism on campus. The racist problems emerged back in November when prejudiced graffiti was found in a dorm and then spread across campus. This is the second demonstration of this school year, and protesters are demanding University Chancellor Kent Savard meet their list of 34 demands. Savard and staff are still trying to get a handle on the situation by making accommodations, closing down blocks, and taking a tougher stance against the circumstances.
Oswego County officials confirm there have been no known cases of coronavirus and no one is being quarantined. Representatives from the city and county of Oswego, SUNY Oswego, Oswego Health, and others from the community met Wednesday to discuss their plans to deal with coronavirus. Mayor Billy Barlow says, quote, "This isn't just how government responds. This is how government interacts with healthcare providers and private sector partners, making sure we're all working together and we all respond the same way." Now, here are the latest numbers on the coronavirus. There are more than 90,000 confirmed cases total. Over 3,000 people have died. 22 cases have been confirmed in New York, and 12 people in Onondaga County are quarantined after returning from China.
The coronavirus is an epidemic hitting various countries around the world. A recent finding, however, may suggest not only humans can test positive for CVOID-19, but dogs as well. Our Pablo Pachucho tells how we can protect our furry friends.
With the confirmation of a dog testing positive for the coronavirus, concern has risen over the well-being of pets. Some owners are aware of the situation, but are not that worried until more information is found. This includes student Robert Jamora and his service dog, Mookie.
This guy stays pretty healthy, brushes teeth, get him on his walks, you know. We let a lot of people touch him though, so I mean, I guess that could be a problem, but for the most part, I think we're good right now, until I notice that people are going to start having it around here.
According to the veterinarian Eric Earhart, many health officials around the world believe that the dog in China was in fact infected by its owner, and that it could be possible for humans to contaminate dogs with COVID-19.
They originally thought it might have been environmental contamination contaminated by the owner who was infected. Now they are believing that the dog was infected from the owner. However, it's a case of human to animal transmission. There is no known dog to human transmission.
It is important to constantly wash your hands and have good hygiene, not only to reduce risk for yourself, but for your pets as well.
They don't want people abandoning their animals, you know, they should basically use good hygiene, wash their hands off after dealing with their pets, which has always been, you know, recommended to do.
Simply having good hygiene and being precautious can really help reduce the risk of you and your pet getting infected. For any questions or concerns about the coronavirus, contact a healthcare professional. This has been Pablo.
The infected dog, a 17-year-old Pomeranian from mainland China, has since been quarantined and is reported to be recovering.
A body of a woman has been found in the area where New York State Police have spent days searching for a missing upstate New York woman. Casey Weiss of Glen Aubrey was reported missing early Sunday. The body of a white woman was found Thursday near State Route 17, and Appalachian troopers said. Police did not release the woman's identity, and the investigation is still underway.
Russia's capital, Moscow, is typically submerged in snow for 4 to 5 months a year, but snow has not touched down yet this year. Russia is experiencing the warmest winter they have had in 140 years, passing the previous records set in 2015 and 2016. Due to city events revolving around the use of snow and ice, officials had to go to extreme measures by using artificial snow and transferring it from other locations. From these events, Russian officials have now shifted their perspectives on climate crisis.
Coming up later tonight, Congress approves a $1 billion bill to help combat coronavirus in the U.S. How this will help your community safe.
And a 10-year-old California boy who opened fire on officers is in custody. Was he in the right mental state at the time of the shooting? You're watching WTOP 10 News.
But first, let's take a quick look at weather with Storm Team meteorologist Jake Rumowitz.
All right, let's take a look at these temperatures. 45 degrees was the high today. That actually felt pretty warm, not gonna lie, kind of felt like summer. I kind of liked it. 34 was the low, which is a lot above average from the 21 that we usually see this time of year. But check out these records, 71. I would like to feel that I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of the cold. And 8 below was the record cold for this time of year. So tonight we're gonna go 31 degrees is what we're seeing around the low, which is just about what we had yesterday. Mostly cloudy skies and winds east-southeast 5 to 10. And we'll talk to you later after the break. Thank you. Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Jake Rumovich. If you look behind me, snow, something we haven't seen a lot of this winter, and I will be the first to tell you that because I came up here for the snow. So let's check out this snowfall total so far. Only 50 inches is what we've seen so far for the year, but our average, well, I'll tell you, we're actually below average, 85 inches, which is quite something. I'm a little bit disappointed, and I'm sure other people are if you came up here hoping for the snow, or if you just love snow in general. Anyway, right now across the region, we're not too much happening across, maybe a little bit of snow showers up to our friendly northerly neighbor. But as we pull out of the region, we have a low pressure system that's actually going to be working its way through, and we're going to see some of that white stuff. Not that much, not 85 inches worth, but hey, 1 to 3. So let's take a look at these snowfall totals right across the region. We have a coating to an inch pretty much outside of Oswego County, but once you get in towards Oswego County, northern Wayne, and northern Cayuga and Wayne counties, which is where we could see 1 to 3 inches. We might actually be able to go over the 3-inch mark. There's a little bit of discrepancy in the model, but I'm sure by tomorrow morning we should have a much better idea of how much snow we're supposed to get. But let's take a look at the future cast and find out when we're supposed to be getting the snow. So this will be tonight into tomorrow morning. So 7 a.m. while you're getting the kids up for school or while you're trying to leave the house to go to work, we're not going to see much in the way of any accumulation yet. And I want you to take a look at some of these temperatures. So I'm going to move over right here so you can see 36 degrees in Oswego. Not too cold. In fact, that's not cold enough to support snow. But as we move forward throughout the day, this is noon. 37 degrees is your temperature right now in Oswego, which may be, I know it's warmer than 36, but it may be cold enough to actually support some snow. And we're going to see that leave the region and then come back into the region from right about dinner time to around 10 p.m. And so going through, we're still going to have some clear skies. This is 7 a.m., 23 degrees. Temperatures are going to get colder, but going forward, they actually do warm up a little bit. So let's take a look at the 7-day forecast real quick to see what exactly is going on. Oh, excuse me, I misspoke. We have the weekend, of course, 38 degrees for that snowstorm that we're going to have on Friday. Saturday, Sunday looking nice. Sunday, 47 degrees. Very nice day. Monday, even warmer at the high at 51. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we may actually see a little bit of snowy weather. Temperatures should be trending toward average, still a little bit above average. I'll see you guys after the break. Thank you.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. After passing the House on Wednesday, the Senate pushed through a spending package to direct funding towards the coronavirus epidemic. With a vote of 96-1, the agreement is set to allocate $7.8 billion to address the virus outbreak, along with $500 million in mandatory spending to fund the telehealth program for maximum expansion of access to health services in the nation. Trump says he is willing to spend anything appropriate to end the crisis at hand.
Starbucks is suspending their reusable mug campaign, which has prevented millions of pounds of paper from collecting in landfills since 2010. The reason for this is fear over spread of the coronavirus, but said they will continue to honor their 10-cent discount for anyone that brings in their reusable tumbler or cup. The company says they are hopeful that the suspension will only be temporary, but have not stated when it will be lifted.
Tennessee residents are coping with deaths, injuries, and massive devastation after this week's deadly storms. At least 5 children were among victims. One survivor is speaking out about her brush with death. Shay Arthur reports.
He lives right at the beginning of, well, up here by King Creek Park.
Amanda Randolph walks us through the mud, through the mess, through the dozens of volunteers. Using chainsaws, cleaning up her home after a tornado chewed through the neighborhood.
I was right here. So I don't know how I got out, and I don't know how I survived.
A tree narrowly missing her as she sat in this now unrecognizable smashed black Honda.
The sky, but it's like the wind, maybe rain, whatever, everything was like a gray and then a green color. And I could feel my whole car shaking, and it sounded like a freight train. It's exactly the way they say it is. It happened so fast, no warning.
Suffering a few broken ribs, tonight she's without a car, her belongings. But this brush with death put her life in perspective. Like so many of us do, Amanda had been going through a rough time.
I've come to this point in life where everything's gotten really hard lately. I'm newly divorced and got 3 kids, trying to learn how this divorce thing works.
She thought she had reached a breaking point.
I just don't know how much more I can take. It's hard. It's really hard. In that day in particular, like I would have been completely okay with just like not existing.
But in that moment, she thought her life could be over. There was clarity.
Sitting in my car that night, like, I just didn't want to die so bad.
She knew her children. Her life was worth believing in.
I'm so grateful for whatever was looking out for me, because I wouldn't be here without it.
That was Shay Arthur reporting. The storms also knocked out power for thousands and forced schools to shut down.
The 10-year-old boy who opened fire on California officers is now in custody. Police responded to reports of the boy holding a shotgun. The boy had locked himself in a shed behind his home and fired 2 rounds at police before peacefully surrendering 2 hours later. His parents called police saying the child was having a mental crisis. He is being taken into protective custody for mental health evaluation.
Harvey Weinstein's publicist says he has been moved from Bellevue Hospital to Rikers Island Infirmary following a heart procedure on Wednesday. Paramedics determined Weinstein had a heart problem after his conviction on February 24th. The former movie producer has been charged with a criminal sex act in the 1st degree and rape in the 3rd degree. He is expected to be sentenced on March 11th.
There is a new accuser in the R. Kelly case. Today he testified with his attorneys pleading not guilty. The new accuser said she met the singer when they were 14 or 15. Kelly was accused of engaging in sexual activity with her before she turned 18. Kelly's court date was also postponed until October due to new evidence surfacing. The new evidence includes over 100 electronic devices found on Kelly's property.
Coming up in sports, Michael Gross.
Michael, can you give us a quick preview?
Of course. Thanks, guys. Coming up after the break, both Oswego State lacrosse teams were in action yesterday. And which former Syracuse basketball player just signed a deal with the Lakers? Don't go anywhere. You're watching WTOP 10. Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I am Michael Gross, and this is your sports report. The Oswego State men's lacrosse team are in their 2nd straight win to open up the 2020 season. Oswego bested Alfred State by a score of 12-11 with sophomore Weston Gray paving the way for the Lakers. Gray scored 3 goals and had 2 helpers, good for 5 points in the win. Scoring from the sophomore might just help fill the void since forward Bobby Emerson, a member of the 100-point club, graduated last year. The men's lacrosse team is set to match up against Morrisville State on Saturday. The Oswego State women's lacrosse team took the turf as well, although they did not get the win. Clarkson outlasted the Lakers by a final score of 5-9. The Golden Knights were led by senior Aubrey Borghese, scoring back-to-back-to-back goals in the first half. The Lakers have now dropped 2 straight after winning their first contest against Morrisville to open up the season, but will get a chance to turn it around this Saturday against Lycoming. Now, Syracuse women's basketball picked up a massive win yesterday in the ACC tournament opening game. The 8-seed Orange took the lead early in the 2nd quarter over 9th-seed Virginia and never looked back. Center Amaya Finkley-Guidi scored 15 points and shot 6 for 9 from the field in the win. Syracuse takes on top-seeded Louisville, who they beat earlier this season on Friday and in the ACC quarterfinal at 2 o'clock. Former 4th overall pick in the NBA draft out of Syracuse, Dion Waiters, is back on the hardwood after signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. Waiters was suspended, then later released by the Miami Heat during the beginning of the season after the 28-year-old brought a THC-infused edible onto the team plane. This deal will be for the remainder of the season, as Waiters will join LeBron James and the top seed in the West on their journey to the finals. We will stick with some basketball here, and we'll start in the 2nd quarter in the Jazz-Knicks game at the Garden. The Jazz rolled all over the Knicks, and here we are, 2nd quarter. Great feed there down low to Rudy Gobert, who flushes it home. Good with the low post moves. Now Julius Randle finds the lane and gets to the rack in some traffic. Randle had a good night. He had himself 32 points. But now the veteran, Mike Conley, flipped one up, got the lucky bounce, and he got it to go. Mitchell would then feed to Gobert here in the 2nd half. Gobert had a double-double, 18 points, 14 rebounds, and that great ball movement there from the Jazz topped it off there. Donovan Mitchell, 23 points, 8 rebounds as the Jazz win 112-104. They improved to 39-22, only a half game back of that 4-seed Houston. And the Knicks, they will fall to 19-43. Another disappointing season for the Knicks so far.
So, Michael Gross, what do we have coming up in sports this weekend?
Well, here in Oswego, well, it won't be here, but the Oswego State Lakers men's hockey team will take on Geneseo in the SUNYAC final. And that's going to be in Geneseo at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. I will be down there covering the game for WTOP 10 on social media, so look out for me and look out for that game.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Since 1912, Oreo has been the most popular cookie in America, and tomorrow is National Oreo Day. selling more than 450 billion packages. There are many ways to enjoy America's favorite cookie, including a crushed Oreo sundae or a delicious fried Oreo. You can post about your favorite flavors or ways to enjoy using the hashtag National Oreo Cookie Day.
Do you have a favorite Oreo type?
Me personally, I like the peanut butter pie graham cracker Oreo. It is delicious.
Interesting. I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of Oreos. I'm more of like a Girl Scout cookie kind of person.
Okay.
So I've been very excited for that. But
Tag-alongs are the
Oreos.
best.
Jake, your favorite
How about
Oreo?
you?
I just like the regular ones. I mean, I'm fine with anything. Cookies are cookies. Oreos are Oreos. But I mean, you can't go wrong with just a regular Oreo.
So my favorite has to be, it's called the triple double. So it's the 2 regular cookies, and then it has vanilla icing and chocolate icing in there, and then they pack it together.
No way,
and
man.
it's my
Where do they
favorite.
sell those?
Yeah, they really do.
They really sell those?
I haven't had them in probably 2-3 years, but hey, they're really
So
good.
how does our weather look for the parade this Saturday?
So the parade is on Saturday. Saturday actually looks really nice. It's going to be a little bit cold, but we're going to have clear weather, which is probably the most important thing. So if you're going, bundle up, but you don't have anything in the way of precip to worry about. And you can see on the screen the look down the week. Right now, Saturday, Sunday are looking nice. Sunday's actually going to be a little bit warm. So if you're not doing anything, Sunday seems like a great day. Make some plans. I don't know.
Go play some baseball. It's baseball
Play some
season.
baseball, exactly.
Yeah,
Wiffle ball. Go have a catch.
And honestly, you just be overcast. I'm fine with a little bit of overcast. As long as it's
gonna
not
feel
raining or
like
snowing.
summer. 47, that's crazy.
It does feel like summer.
I put my AC on in
I
the
could
car
probably wear
today.
shorts.
Your AC.
All right, that's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Oz Anonymous.
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.